Hey guys, it's Miss Henriod. I'm losing my voice, so I decided to record myself teaching this lesson rather than having to give this lesson over and over again tomorrow. So, to kick off our EOC Blitz, we are going to learn how to diagram sentences, and we're going to learn what the different sentence patterns are. We just watched a brain pop video that defined what a direct object was and what a direct indirect object was. So we're going to take what we learned from that video and we're going to apply it to our sentence patterns. The first sentence pattern is very simple. It is subject, verb. There are two words in these sentences. One is the subject, one is the verb. So we're going to look at our first example. Michael throws. Okay, if I'm thinking to myself, what is the subject of this sentence? I'm asking, what is doing the object? Michael is doing the object. So the subject of this sentence is Michael, and the verb is throws. And throws is actually an action verb, as I see over here, because it is a verb that shows action. All right, Jennifer sings. Pretty simple, just like last time. What's the subject of this sentence? Jennifer, because Jennifer is doing the action, and the verb is sings. Okay, the next sentence pattern is subject, action verb, direct object. As we learned in the brain pop video, the direct object is the thing that receives the action. So if I'm looking at this sentence, I see what is receiving the action. The ball is receiving the action. So the ball is the direct object. The subject is Michael. And the verb is the ball. Or excuse me, the verb is throws. And the direct object is the ball. Jennifer sings a song. Just like last time, Jennifer is the subject. You guys should all be writing this down along with me now. Sings is the verb. And then the song is the direct object because it is what is having the action done to it. Perfect. Moving on. Next sentence pattern. Subject, action verb, indirect object, direct object. So now we have to figure out what's an indirect object again. We go look at our definition that we learned about in the brain pop video. An indirect object is the thing that receives the direct object. So I'm going to have to ask myself, who receives the direct object? In this sentence, Michael throws Jerome the ball. Who is receiving the direct object? We know that the direct object is the ball because the ball is having the action done to it. So Jerome is the indirect object. So subject, Michael. Verb, throws. Direct object, the ball. Indirect object, Jerome. Okay, same thing. Jennifer sings her daughter a song. The song is still the direct object because it is still having the action done to it. But the daughter is the indirect object because her daughter is receiving the direct object. Whoops. So, we have subject, Jennifer is doing the action. Verb, sings, because that's the action. And then we have direct object, the song. And the indirect object, her daughter. Now, this one has an indirect object and a direct object, but they're not in quite the same order. So we need to figure out which one of these is the indirect object versus the direct object. So first of all, who's doing the action in this sentence? Mary bakes a cake for her aunt. The subject is Mary because she's doing the action. Then we have the action verb. The thing that's happening is she's baking, so bakes is the verb. And now I'm trying to figure out direct object versus indirect object. So if I'm trying to find out what the direct object is, I asked, what is having the action done to it? What's receiving the action? And the answer to that question is the cake, the cake is having the action done to it. So the cake is the direct object, and the indirect object is her aunt, because she is receiving the direct object. Okay, next sentence type. Subject, linking verb, subject complement. A subject complement is a word or group of words that describes the subject. Now we have a different term here, linking verb. A linking verb is a verb that could be replaced by the verb to be. So it means the same thing as to be. It's a version of that verb. So in this sentence, Jeremy seemed grumpy. Jeremy is the subject. Seemed is a linking verb because it could also be replaced with the verb to be. I could also say Jeremy was grumpy. And then the subject complement is the word grumpy. Grumpy is describing the subject, which is Jeremy. Jeremy is the subject. Grumpy is describing the subject. Okay, Brittany became hungry. Same thing. What's the subject? You guys should be writing this on your paper. Subject is Brittany. Became is a linking verb because it is a version of the verb to be. You could also say Brittany was hungry. It would still make sense. So we know that this is a linking verb. And I'm just going to say subject complement, SC, is hungry. It's describing the subject. Easy enough. Last but not least, we have our last one, which is subject, action verb, direct object, object complement. So we have, the teacher said he was a class clown. So an object complement, as we see on our definition, is a word or group of words that describe the object. So I have to figure out what the object is, and then I can figure out what's describing the object. So what's the subject in this sentence? The teacher is the subject because he is doing the action. The verb is the verb said. He's speaking. So what is having the action done to it? This person, he, whoever he is the direct object. So the object complement is a class clown because it's describing the object. So I have OC as object complement. Same thing. Subject is we, because we are doing the action. The action verb is painted. Direct object, what's having the action done to it? The door. So the object complement is red. We're just gonna, this seems repetitive, but we're gonna do it again. Subject, Marissa. The verb considered. The direct object is the joke. And the object complement describing the joke is stupid. Now, last but not least, we have one that's a little bit harder. Jordan caught his brother sleeping in his bed. So, sorry, I've got to make more room down here. Jordan is the subject. Action verb, caught. Direct object, who did he catch? Little brother. And then here we have an object complement that is more than one word. Sleeping in his bed is actually the object complement. And now you guys are going to do numbers 1 through 5 on your own. Good luck!